you've just heard me play the same thing in two different keys. First time I played in the key of G, and the second time I played in the key of C. Have you ever been to a jam where you had other musicians and somebody would say, all right, we're going to play this song in the key of G? Well, obviously that means something to someone. It may not mean anything to you, but it will after this video, because we're going to talk about in this video how keys are constructed from chords. Now, if you watched my video on notes to chords and how chords were constructed from notes, you're a leg up. If not, go back and watch that video so you'll understand certain principles in this video. For one is intervals. We talked about intervals in the other video and how there are sharps and flats between some whole notes and not between others. There's an A flat to an A B flat to a B. But then between the B and the C, there is no flat or sharp. It goes straight to the C. We talked about those being intervals, half steps. A flat to A is a half step. B flat to B is a half step. B to C is a half step. A full step then would be 2 half steps. We said that every fret on a guitar is a half step. So that if you played the E below middle C on a keyboard, you would be playing the top string of a guitar, the low E string. If you put your finger on the first fret, that would be like playing the key to the right on a keyboard, the half step up, which is another white key on the keyboard, which is an F. Then you'd play a black key to the right, which would be an F sharp on the second fret, then a G, then an A flat, then an A, then a B flat, then a B, then a C, then a D flat, then a D, then an E flat, and then you're back to E, which is where the neck of the guitar starts over on the 15th fret. Every string is that way. We talked about the notes going that way. We also use the same kind of intervals when we're talking about chords. From chords to keys. When we're talking about that, we use the same kind of intervals. So we said in the last video, if you're playing a C chord, the note intervals are half step, full step, half step, full step, half step, back to the original note, C in this case. Let's say we start with the C chord and we want to count the notes. We start with C as the one note. We go a full step, which is D flat to D, that's the 2. From D flat, we go E flat to E, that's a full step to the 3. So full step. Now we go a half step from the D to an E. From C, D, E to F. And then we go from F sharp to G for the 5. We said that the 1, the 3, and the 5 make up a chord. So in the key of C, we have a C note, an E note, and a G note. Those are the 1, 3, and 5. But for chords, for keys, it's different. So for keys, we go 1, 4, 5 instead of 1, 3, 5. Let's take the key of C. C is the 1. So the first chord in the key of C is, of course, the 1, which is the C. Then we go to the 4. So we go C, D, E, F. The second chord is an F. Then we go to the 5, which is a full step up from there, the G. So we know that in the key of G, or key of C, we have a C, an F, and a G. The 1, the 4, and the 5. We call this a Nashville numbering system, 1, 4, 5. Oftentimes, if you're playing along with somebody will say the key of C, 1, 4, 5 with a 6 minor. It's usually a 6 minor. So if you want to find the minor in that key, the primary minor that is, it's a 6. So if you go one step up from the 5, Your 5 was a G. You know that A is one step up, A flat A, full step up. So A minor is the primary minor in the key of C. Now, if there's a secondary minor in the song, it's going to be the 2. So since C is the 1, a full step up for the 2 would be a D. So a D minor is the secondary minor in the key of C. So all you have to do now is know I'm playing the key of C. I'm playing primarily 1, 4, and 5 in some order. Then you just, with experience, you'll figure out what order you can hear the chords coming up. Believe it or not, you'll get good at it to where you can follow along. Now, sometimes you'll see a chord chart, and the chord chart will just have Roman numerals: 1, 4, 5, 4, 1, 6 M, 6 minor, 2 M. It'll just have Roman numerals. That is so that you can play it in any key. Now, what I did at the beginning of this video was I played a little ditty in the key of G. And what I did was I played the 1, then I played the 6 minor, then I played the 4, then I played the 5. Then I changed it to the key of C. I played the 1, then I played the 6 minor, then I played the 4, then I played the 5. I played 1, 4, 5 with a 6 minor. Now, the key of G, let's just do that real quick. In the key of G, the 1 is the G, so the 4 would be A, B, C, because C is a half step up from the 2. C is my 4. One step up from that is the 5, D. And the minor would be the 6, which is an E. The secondary minor would be the 2, which is what? An A. So you can see that the G and the C share a minor. It's the primary minor in one key. It's the secondary minor in another key. I urge you to look up the circle of fifths. F-I-F-T-H, the circle of fifths. It will show you all of the keys in a circle and how they all combine with a minor, and it'll show you the time signatures if you're reading sheet music, how to tell if it's in the key of G or key of C or whatever by reading sheet music. I urge you to practice that. Change keys. Try to think of a key and then work that in. D. Key of D. We start with the D, that's the 1. We need the 4. So it's E, F sharp, G. G is the 4. The 5 would be a step up from that. It's an A. So we know in the key of D, it's D, G, A. Now if there's a minor, it's going to be one step up from the key, from the root, which is D. So it's going to be an E. So if we play that same ditty, and that's the key of D. So remember, for keys, it's 1, 4, 5. For chords, it's 1, 3, 5. So again, for keys, 1, 4, 5 with a 6 minor as the primary and a 2 minor as the secondary, and you can play in any key. Sit down, practice. Remember, these videos are just made to give you information so you can practice. Once you practice, you'll get good at it. You'll be able to follow along with anybody. All they got to do is tell you the key. Now, in the next video, we'll talk about playing with a capo and bar chords, and we'll talk about how to find the key for a song that you don't have the music to. How to find the key. We'll cover that in the next video. Until then, keep playing and just keep picking and gritting.